You know, I think one of the things we all fall into the trap of as gamers and collectors is the dreaded backlog. Now, I don't really worry about that too often. I try to beat games, but I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. It doesn't happen all that often. And I didn't really mind that until I watched two videos recently. One was from Retro Rivals, where Scott listed out all the games that he had completed in a year and put his playtime down and had this really neat interactive graphic experience. It was really cool. And then Generation Pixel did his list of games. Found out that in his top 10 list of games, he actually completed 52 games last year, which to me just sounds astronomical. I don't have the time for that. It's not going to happen. What I did have the time to do, though, was go through my entire backlog of games and pick out 12 that I'm going to complete this year. I want to show you what those games are. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome to Square Pegs. If you're new here, thank you. Appreciate you all being here. As you guys can see up here, we've got over 4,200 subscribers now. It was at 3,900 last week. Huge thank you to everyone who saw the last video and everyone who came over from Gaming Off the Grid suggesting the channel. I really appreciate it. All right, so these are all either new to me or new enough to me. Like, there are some that I have played maybe 15, 20 minutes of, but I haven't gotten far enough in to say that, oh yeah, I've played that game, I can make an honest opinion on it. That's not most of the games on this list. There is one that kind of gets in on a caveat, and I'll tell you about that one here in a minute, but we're starting off with N64, and up first is Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Now, why I'm picking this one, I love the character of Dash Rendar. I think he's awesome. I loved the book Shadows of the Empire, and I remember playing this at my friend Chris's house when we were teenagers, and I thought this is a really clever game, but I never owned a copy of it until recently, and I have beaten, I think, the first level on this one. I want to play through this one, and I know it's an incredibly unforgiving game, but this is something that I really want to get to, I really want to play through, and I really want to explore and play on original hardware. I've got my N64 hooked up, I can run it through my RetroTink 5X, and it looks really nice on my TV, I'm not gonna lie. Well, it looks okay on my TV. It's still an N64 game, let's be honest here, but I've enjoyed what I've played so far. This is probably going to be the first one that I go through and actually do an honest-to-God complete playthrough for. We'll be talking about this one pretty soon. Next up, one I have never even booted up. This was a gift from my friend Tim. I've legitimately never played this series, ever. And I'm looking forward to it. Any footage that you see captured here is me just booting it up, turning it on, and getting a couple of seconds of footage just to put over this, by the way. This isn't anything I have in an archive or anything I downloaded from anyone. This is just me trying stuff out for the first time. So, this is Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Now, if you don't know who Turok is a comic book character. Acclaim Comics was a thing, and they put out an awesome Turok comic when this released, and from what I hear, a pretty decent game. Now, I'm not a huge first-person shooter fan, so I don't know how much I'm going to like this one, but I've heard good things about it, and I've been encouraged to try it by a few of my friends, and like I said, my friend Tim actually got that one for me as a present last year, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying that one out. He also got me something recently for my Sega Master System, which we'll be talking about in another video next week when I show you a really awesome controller that a friend of mine built. Next up, this was suggested to me last year, back when I got, well, not last year now, 2 years ago, back when I got my Jungle Green N64 when Game Dad and my wife Meredith teamed up to be awesome and get me my holy grail N64, my Jungle Green N64. And I said, at that time, suggest games for me. The N64 is a blank slate for me outside of the Zelda games, Paper Mario, Jet Force Gemini. Really, that's about it. No Mercy. But I asked for suggestions, and one I got was Space Station Silicon Valley. Now, I picked this up at the 2001 Midwest Gaming Classic, and I have yet to boot it up. And I need to. I need to play this one because I've said I'm going to. I've said I would, and it just hasn't happened. It's just fallen by the wayside. So this is going to be one that I complete this year. I'm looking forward to playing this one. I've heard nothing but good stuff about it, so I'm looking forward to trying it out. But yeah, Space Station Silicon Valley. I'm very interested in this one. Next up is another N64 game. Now we're starting off with 5 N64. I'm sorry, so just deal with it. And this one's probably going to be pretty quick to get through. This one might actually be first over Shadows of the Empire, just because I think I'll be able to get through it quicker. And I can already hear people getting crazy and getting angry about this and wondering why I haven't played it. And the simple answer is, first time I tried it, I didn't like it. And I've waited 20 plus years to go back and play it, and I've owned it for a few months now, and I captured some footage to show when I picked it up, but I haven't really played it. I haven't really sunk any time into it, and that is Diddy Kong Racing. I've been told this is an amazing game. I've been told it is just a spectacular racing game and probably the best on the N64. And I'm looking forward to seeing if that holds up. I'm a big fan of Mario Kart 64, big fan of Beetle Adventure Racing, love the cruising games. I'm really interested to see if this one holds up. If this is as good as people say it is, I'm very much looking forward to finding out, because this is something that, like I said, I took the L on this one. I didn't like it, and realized that that might have just been me being wrong place, wrong time when I first played it. So looking forward to trying this one out. Now, I mentioned earlier, there's going to be a caveat game in here, and here it is, because I've already played this on the PS1. I've beaten it on the PS1, but I have yet to boot up this copy that I got at Korg's last year for the N64, and that is Mega Man 64. Now, this is just Mega Man Legends for the N64, but I love this game, and I'm honestly kind of looking for an excuse to play it again, so I want to beat it on the N64. I want to play it for the first time on the N64. I never played this version, so I want to see how different it is compared to the PS1 version. I'm going to imagine it's going to be pretty close, but you never know. It could be way off. It could be a completely different experience, and I'm really looking forward to trying this one out. So that is the N64 games. We're going to jump over now to a couple of games on the original Xbox. All right, I'm down here on the floor. My original Xbox collection is actually pretty meager. I mean, you can see most of it right here. And it's full of stuff that I had already played. It was all stuff that I either owned at one time and I've repurchased, or I worked on, to be honest with you. And there are two games in particular on the Xbox that I am really looking forward to playing. One of them involves an IP that I adore. I am a huge Dungeons & Dragons fan. I played D&D most of my life. And I've never once booted up Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I don't think. I might have in the past, but I don't remember putting a lot of time into it. And this is one I bought last year at my local used game store, Second Chance, here in Kalamazoo. And it was something that I was really excited to get. And then my Xbox died. And I just didn't play it. And it wasn't until recently that I got a new one, and it's working perfectly. It looks great on my TV, and I really want to try this one out. I love Dungeons & Dragons, I love role-playing games, and I'm very excited to try Dark Alliance out because I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. Next up is the continuation of one of my favorite series, and is something I have played probably about 15 minutes of because I was so excited when I got it, because I got this the same day I got my new, old, original Xbox. And that is ToeJam and Earl 3. If you guys have been following the channel for any amount of time, you know that is one of my favorite game series of all time. I was so excited when Back in the Groove came out, and I had never had a chance to play this when it originally launched. I kind of missed that it released. And when I found out that it existed, it was something that I kind of knew I had to have. And it took me a while to find it. It took me a while to track it down at a decent price, and I got this, like I said, the same day I got my original Xbox, and I immediately came home and played it for about 15 minutes, and I said, no, I need to stop. This is something I need to do a video on down the road, and I want honest kind of early reaction to it. I don't want it to be spaced out over months on end. So this is going to be something that we look at down the road, and I'm really looking forward to spending some more time with this one. While we're here, you guys can see, got my Sega CD games here too. I've only got 4 of them so far. And there's one in particular, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you knew when I went to Korg's there was one game I was looking for. It was something I had to add to my collection because I had just gotten my Mark II Sega CD, and it's Sonic CD. Now, this is something I have played the first level of many times. I have gotten into the first level, and something has come up where I haven't been able to get back to it, and I haven't been able to continue on and keep playing it, and that's a little frustrating. So that is a problem I want to solve this year. I want to play all the way through Sonic CD, and I want to experience this entire game for the first time, because everything I have seen so far is magnificent. And I really think there's something special here. I love Sonic anyway, and it's just more excuse to play on the fantastic Sega CD. Next, we are going to the Wii U. Okay, not going exactly to the Wii U. We are going to talk about a couple of Wii U games. I'm counting as one just because they're from the same series, but up first, Super Nintendo. And the game I'm talking about here is Bahamut Lagoon. Now, I've never played this one. This is an English translation of the game. I actually won this on one of John Briggs' Whatnot streams and thought that was really cool. I love RPGs, I love SNES RPGs, and really looking forward to this one. It has been hacked, so it has the English translation on it. Should work over on my Retron, so I should be able to play it right away. Really looking forward to this one. I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. Alright, on the Wii U now, and I want to play a couple of games featuring one of the all-time classic video game characters, Pac-Man, and it is Pac-Man The Ghostly Adventures 1 and Pac-Man Ghostly Adventures 2. Heard nothing but good things about these. I got these when they were dirt cheap, like clearanced out on a GameStop sale when they were doing their 4 for $20 on Wii U games. Remember those halcyon days where Wii U games were cheap? Pepperidge Farm remembers. But these are things I've heard really good stuff about and I'm really looking forward to playing. I love the Pac-Man World games, and I think there's a lot of opportunity here for something really clever and really cool. I'm hoping these are going to be good. These will be reviewed together. I'll be doing Pac-Man Ghostly Adventures 1 and 2 in the same video, just because that kind of makes more sense to me than doing them separately out. And finally, my best pickups of 2022 video, I promised you guys some Sega content. One of these is going to be at the tail end of the year, and that is this one right here, Christmas Nights. I really, really look forward to playing this one, and I am hoping that it's everything that I've heard it is. I love the original Nights into Dreams. I've never played this one. Love the soundtrack. I listened to it over the holidays, and I think it's fantastic, but never played the game. Really looking forward to it. The other Sega Saturn game that I will be reviewing that I am looking forward to getting off the backlog is Fighting Vipers. This is incredible. I've heard good stuff about it. I've been told it's incredible. I've seen people play it in arcades. I've seen people play it on streams, but I've never played it myself. And as a huge fighting game fan and as someone who is brand new to the Sega Saturn, this is almost at the top of my list. I'm doing this one in February, so look for that game next month. All right, everybody, there you got it. The 12 or 13, I don't know, math is hard, games that I am looking forward to knocking off of my backlog this year. The backlog is always the albatross that hangs over all of us as a gamer, and I challenge you, pick out a game, at least one, that you are taking off your backlog this year. Let me know in the comments down below what game that is, and if there's more you're looking to knock off as well, let me know. And if there's anything you're looking forward to me reviewing, let me know as well. Till next time, I've been Jay. Hit like if you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe if you're new around here, and stay square.